Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, public sector workers want a compensation closure before Clark's departure. There is growing disquiet among an increasing number of public sector workers over continued delays, which are being blamed on the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service in bringing closure to lingering issues under the compensation review exercise. The news understands that the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions and the technocrats from the Finance Ministry met on August 30 to conclude the talks on the wording of an agreement to settle outstanding matters. However, a source close to the discussions informed the news that the unions were left astounded when they received a correspondence from the Finance Ministry that varied from the wording of the agreement that both parties had accepted at the August 30 meeting. The source said that one important item the parties had agreed to was slated to take effect on August 1, 2024. However, the draft document from the Finance Ministry had the effective date as October 1, 2024. Sources among the unions are of the view that the government was not conducting itself in good faith. Less than 2 weeks ago, the JCTU sought a meeting with the Finance and the Public Service Minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, after it was revealed that he would demit office in October. Clark will take up the position of Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund effective October 31 this year. Since Clark announced his pending departure, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said he has identified a replacement for the Finance Ministry. The unions had expressed a concern about the lingering compensation issues, and they signaled that they wanted to complete those talks with Clark before his departure. The unions and the Ministry of Finance had failed previously to iron out their differences in relation to the payment of increments to public sector workers. The union said earlier that there was an agreement on most items except for the payment of increment for the period 2022 to 2025. The JCTU had also called for the withdrawal of Circular Number 28 regarding traveling. Public sector workers in central government who are appointed are eligible for increments once they perform satisfactorily or achieve additional qualification. Second man booked re-mass shooting at Chris Martin's grandmother's wake. The police are reporting that a second suspect has been charged relative to the mass shooting that occurred at the wake that was held for the grandmother of reggae entertainer Chris Martin in Point Hill, St. Catherine on August 21. The accused is 20-year-old bus conductor Javon Dwyer, otherwise called GT, of Codger Hill in the parish. He was charged on Thursday with 7 counts of wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, using a firearm to commit a felony, and being part of, participating in, or facilitating serious offenses by a criminal organization. Dwyer was one of several men listed as persons of interest in connection with the shooting incident, which resulted in the death of a man and the injuring of 6 other individuals. The deceased was later identified as 34-year-old O'Neill Spencer, alias Taros. The police previously announced that 23-year-old Junior Coleman, otherwise called CJ, a construction worker of Tridica Park, St. Catherine, was the first person to be charged with offenses relative to the mass shooting. Coleman was charged with murder, conspiracy to murder, breaches of the New Firearms Act, wounding with intent, and the shooting with intent. The police reported that about 2:45 a.m. on August 21, people in the community were at a wake when gunmen invaded the area and opened fire on the crowd. The men then escaped from the area. Several persons were found suffering from gunshot wounds. They were rushed to hospital, where Spencer was pronounced dead and the others were admitted for treatment. Chef allegedly found packing illegal pistol at work in Falmouth. 30-year-old Jay Berlin, a chef of Racecourse District, Falmouth in Trelawney, has been charged with possession of prohibited weapon following an incident in Cooper's Pen District in the parish on Saturday, September 7. Reports from the Falmouth police are that about 5:30 p.m., law enforcers acting on information conducted a snap raid at a restaurant in Cooper's Pen, Trelawney. During the operation, a 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 5 9mm rounds was reportedly found in Berlin's possession. He was arrested and taken into custody, where he was subsequently charged. His court date is being finalized. PNP General Secretary critical of Clark's departure as a finance minister. People's National Party General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell is taking issue with the decision of Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark to head overseas to work in a senior capacity at the International Monetary Fund. Clark is set to depart his role in the cabinet and as Member of Parliament for Northwestern St. Andrew after news emerged that he is to be appointed a Deputy Managing Director of the IMF on October 31. Campbell, in his address at the People's National Party's Northern Clarendon constituency meeting on Thursday, said the government has been urging health professionals to stay in Jamaica and work, while Clark is now doing the opposite by leaving the island to take up an opportunity overseas. The PNP politician said that despite Clark arguing at the time that the salaries of members of the political directorate were being increased significantly under the government's compensation review to attract and keep the brightest minds in politics, the increase was supposedly not enough to keep Clark himself in Jamaica. Campbell claimed that some medical professionals could earn double what he said Clark will be earning at the IMF in their respective fields of specialization, but they have opted to remain in Jamaica.
How can it be that you have a government where they tell our nurses and our teachers that you must stay and sacrifice for the benefit of this country? You have a minister of finance that raised the pay for himself and others within the political directorate by 300%. And he said that he raised it because he's trying to attract the best and the brightest, and he wants them to stay in Jamaica. And only for us to get up on it, I hear that the same man said the 300% is not enough, so he migrated. An orthopedic surgeon, a bone specialist in Jamaica, earns $12 million per year. Nigel was earning 24, 2 times what the bone specialists are earning. Nigel is leaving Jamaica to go to foreign to earn $431,000 US per year. If the orthopedic surgeon leave and go to the US, they would earn $800,000 US per year, 2 times what Nigel run gone for. Now, I want you to understand this here. In Jamaica, Nigel earn 2 times what the bone specialists earn. If run gone to a work, that if the man run with him or the woman who is the bone specialist, they will earn 2 times what him earn over there. And they have decided to stay because they put Jamaica first. Nigel only cares about himself. I can't talk about being personal achievement. Because any one of us could have stayed in our private endeavors and aim to be at the top of it. I could be practicing medicine and aiming to be a consultant at Mayo Clinic. All of us could do that. We took a conscious decision that we were going into politics to shape the direction that this country is going in. And 1 year before the general election, the finance minister packed up his bag and gone, when we are telling all of the JPLPs, from all the right now to siblings or whatever it be, pack your bags and go.
Police claim lottery scamming linked to Crim spike in Christiana. The police have determined that lottery scamming is behind the recent spate of murders in Christiana, Manchester. Several police operations were carried out on Friday morning following the murder of 27-year-old Cuthbert Lambert, also called Jerome, at the entrance of Christiana Moravian Primary School. Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan, commanding officer for the Manchester Police, told the news that during that operation, the police recovered several rounds of 9mm ammunition, as also as some lottery scamming paraphernalia, and one man has been arrested and charged so far. The security forces have increased their presence in Christiana in light of the spike in violent incidents there in the last few days. DSP Duncan has declared that the authorities will not allow criminals to intimidate law-abiding citizens in the parish. He also claims that the police have solved the majority of crimes in the parish.
Our detectives have been doing some tremendous work in the Department of Investigation. The point that we have cleared up, and I say that we've arrested and charged 75% of the persons who have been committing these atrocities within the parish. And our operational response has also been tremendous after the incident of murder. We carried out a series of operations. We recognize that the lottery scamming, the law reform has been a part of what is causing these incidents within the parish. So we have been looking in that direction, and so we have been carrying out a series of operations. And just this morning, we recovered some rounds of 9mm ammunition, as also some lottery scamming paraphernalia, and one man has been arrested and charged so far.
Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.